Good evening. Tonight I want to discuss how the hunting participation in the United States has dramatically dropped since 1982 at its peak involvement. It steadily decreased to only where 4% of United States citizens claim to be hunters, and that is extremely shocking considering 22.3 million hunting licenses were sold in the year 1982. And according to Texas Parks and Wildlife and the National Survey for Fishing, Hunting, and Wildlife Associated Recreation, between 2011 and 2016, we lost 2.2 million hunting participants in the state of Texas alone. So you may ask me, why is that important? Why is hunting such a big deal? Why is it necessary that we preserve this heritage that is important to such a small group of people within society today? Well, I will say hunting allows for ethical wildlife management. That is important because a population that is overly dense in a specific species can completely throw off an ecosystem. For instance, the golden cheek warbler is a bird that is native to the state of Texas. In the Texas Hill Country, it was known to inhabit the Edwards Plateau ecoregion. And ever since the introduction of exotic wildlife in this region, their populations completely combusted and grew to an unmanageable amount due to lack of hunters. The golden cheek warbler lost most of its habitat, were considered extremely endangered, and fled their native area in the Texas Hill Country. Thanks to hunters and more active landowner engagement in managed lands programs, the golden cheek warbler has actually been able to come back and re-inhabit its native areas, all due to landowners and hunters properly, ethically, and legally hunting in order to preserve a population and not just go out and shoot to shoot. And it's very important for hunting to continue to raise its numbers and the initiative to be even stronger, considering the state of Texas is 95.8% privately owned, according to summitpost.org. This is very important considering an organization cannot just go onto someone's property and decide that it needs to be managed differently or made a state park or a natural area in order for the wildlife to be taken care of. So hunting and landowner engagement is extremely important, and that's why the numbers for hunting and outdoor sports really need to be raised. A recent bill called Proposition 5 passed recently in the state of Texas, which allowed for all of the taxes on sporting goods and hunting and fishing licenses to be used where they were intended, such as state natural areas, state parks, outdoor education and recreation. But considering this awesome stride towards conservation and health of the ecosystem and nature in Texas, the lack of hunters is definitely debilitating because less money is being spent on those items considering the new taxes that are put on it. There's not enough money to benefit the organizations that they were meant to being spent on hunting licenses. The proceeds are just not enough to take care of the natural and wild places of Texas. So it's very important for us as a society to really put an emphasis on outdoor education and hunting. In the future, if society really comes together and determines that hunting is actually very important and they look at the science and look at the numbers, you can see more species very similar to the golden cheek warbler be rejuvenated in their populations in native lands. And we can do this by outdoorsmen sharing your knowledge, sharing your love for the outdoors to the next generation in order for them to preserve this heritage and keep moving forward in conservation strides. You can do this by volunteering for organizations such as Texas Youth Hunting Program, who according to their website have taken out 55,000 people since 1996 and taught them safe, legal, and ethical hunting skills. So whether you're into hunting or you just would like to pick up an outdoor hobby, your participation will greatly benefit the state parks, wild areas, and wildlife of Texas. Thank you.